The global race for critical minerals just escalated from a quiet trade dispute into a fully funded federal mandate. On February 2, 2026, the United States government officially launched Project Vault, a sweeping $12 billion initiative designed to build an impenetrable, strategic critical minerals reserve. The Pentagon and the Department of Energy are no longer just publishing warning reports about supply chain vulnerabilities. They are aggressively deploying capital to secure the exact metals required to build electric vehicles, advanced robotics, and next-generation weapons systems. Right at the epicenter of this massive capital injection is a public company called USA Rare Earth, ticker USAR. In late January 2026, the administration announced a staggering non-binding letter of intent, LOI, for up to $1.6 billion in federal financing. With discussions reportedly including a 10% government equity stake, they aren't just looking to fund a speculative mining exploration project. They are aiming to bankroll the construction of a fully integrated domestic mine-to-magnet ecosystem. Today, we are tearing apart the financials, the acquisitions, and the unique geology of the ultimate Project Vault proxy play. To grasp exactly why the federal government is targeting this company for a massive financing package, you have to look at the dirt they control. USA Rare Earth holds the mining rights to Round Top Mountain, located in the Trans-Pecos region of West Texas. While other domestic operations primarily produce light rare earths, Round Top is an absolute geological outlier. Management reports that it is one of the only major deposits in the world where over 70% of the resource consists of heavy rare earth elements. Why does the distinction between light and heavy matter so much? You fundamentally cannot build a high-performance military magnet or a reliable EV motor without heavy elements like dysprosium and terbium. These specific metals act as a stabilizer, preventing the magnets from losing their charge at extremely high temperatures. A mandatory requirement for a fighter jet engine or a hyper-efficient offshore wind turbine. By controlling Round Top, USA Rare Earth holds one of the most critical domestic advantages for accessing the most scarce, heavily guarded tier of the periodic table, completely bypassing the light rare earth bottlenecks that plague their competitors. Mining the radioactive rock is only the first step of a brutally complex industrial puzzle. Once you extract the raw rare earth oxides from the ground, you must chemically convert them into high-purity metal alloys before they can be magnetized. For decades, this intermediate metal-making step has been almost entirely monopolized by foreign refineries. In late 2025, USA Rare Earth executed a masterful acquisition to bridge this exact gap, purchasing Less Common Metals, LCM, a UK-based alloy manufacturer, for a reported $100 million in cash and stock. This transaction fundamentally alters USAR's structural timeline. LCM is a premier scaled ex-China producer of rare earth metals and strip-cast alloys. By integrating this established European facility, USA Rare Earth absorbs decades of metallurgical expertise. While this acquisition doesn't magically grant them overnight perfection, it significantly accelerates their ability to process rare earth oxides into the exact neodymium iron boron NdFeB alloys required for their downstream factories. Instead of spending 5 years attempting to invent a novel smelting process from scratch, they wisely used their capital to acquire the hardest part of the supply chain. The ultimate corporate objective of USA Rare Earth is not to sell raw dirt or intermediate powders. It is to sell the finished high-margin component. To achieve this vertical integration, they are finalizing the construction of a massive sintered neomagnet manufacturing facility in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Utilizing proprietary scaled equipment, originally sourced from Hitachi, this facility successfully produced its first batch of prototype magnets in early 2025. Now, fueled by the prospect of federal funding, they are targeting full-scale commercial production in 2026. When this Oklahoma facility reaches its maximum nameplate capacity, it is engineered to produce nearly 5,000 metric tons of magnets annually. To put that industrial scale into perspective, that is enough magnetic material to supply hundreds of millions of individual components and EV motors every single year. By crossing this commercialization threshold, USA Rare Earth positions itself as a dominant leader in North American supply chain integration, ready to fulfill lucrative contracts for the aerospace, defense, and automotive sectors, without relying on Asian manufacturing. Hardware, manufacturing, and heavy mining are notoriously capital-intensive industries that routinely bankrupt ambitious startups. The primary hurdle is surviving the multi-year gap between breaking ground and generating positive cash flow. This is precisely why the January 2026 letter of intent from the government is such a critical fundamental catalyst. The potential $1.6 billion debt and equity package from the U.S. government materially reduces the financing risk that normally crushes retail and institutional shareholders in this sector. However, it is vital to understand that this funding is conditional. It is tied to strict operational milestones and does not magically eliminate operational permitting or market risks. While having the government discussing a 10% equity stake undeniably aligns strategic interests and acts as a deterrent against foreign predatory pricing, USAR must still execute. If global rare earth spot prices crash, USAR will have the backing of a sovereign balance sheet to help weather the storm. But management still has to prove they can operate these facilities profitably. Now, let's stress test the thesis. The bear case here is substantial, and it revolves entirely around timeline execution. The most glaring operational risk for USA Rare Earth is the projected misalignment between their factory and their mine. The Stillwater magnet facility is targeting commercial production this year, in 2026. However, the Round Top mine in Texas is currently undergoing its definitive feasibility studies and geotechnical drilling. Based on company updates, commercial-scale extraction at the mine is realistically targeted for late 2028. Based on current projections, this logistical mismatch creates a potential feedstock gap until Round Top reaches commercial scale. The Oklahoma factory must rely heavily on third-party suppliers and recycled scrap materials from their LCM acquisition to source its rare earth oxides. Procuring high-quality feedstock on the open market exposes the company to severe margin compression. Furthermore, the company is relying on a novel continuous ion exchange process to extract these minerals in Texas. If this proprietary metallurgy fails to scale efficiently outside of a pilot plant environment, their ambitious financial targets could quickly face steep downward revisions. USA Rare Earth represents one of the most aggressive attempts to reshore critical minerals in North America. Combining the geological anomaly of the Round Top heavy rare earth deposit with the imminent manufacturing capacity of their Oklahoma magnet facility, fortified by the proposed $1.6 billion project vault financing and the strategic capabilities of less common metals. They possess a clear roadmap to challenge foreign monopolies. However, this is not a risk-free endeavor. If they fail to secure affordable third-party feedstock during the projected 2-year gap before their Texas mine opens, or if they stumble on their operational milestones, their ambitious timelines could severely punish the stock. Are you buying into the ultimate project vault proxy, or is the timeline execution risk too steep for your portfolio? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, check out the Ko-Fi link in the description. Remember, this is not financial advice. You're watching Stock Teller, where every ticker has a tail.